Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. This week we have the second challenge mode launching for Leviathan, and that is for the Gauntlet. Surprisingly, this challenge is actually very easy, especially if you already are doing the encounter a very particular way. The nice thing about challenge modes inside of raids typically is that they're not always the hard way to do things, but really typically the way that Bungie prefers you do it anyways. And luckily the Gauntlet challenge is very straightforward, so let's jump into it. Alright, so very quickly, this video is not going to be a complete guide on how to finish the Gauntlet on normal or prestige. I have full videos for those in the links down below, but in this video we're going to quickly go over what you need to do to finish the challenge mode. To complete the encounter, each member of your team can't stand on each of the plates more than once. This actually works out to be just fine because if you do the rotation method for prestige mode where everyone takes turns running, you most likely already have this down. Now, here is how to complete it. As you know, there are 3 rotations of running around the Gauntlet. For Prestige mode, each person can't hold the orb more than once, so you're going to have to take turns running anyways. So for the first round, you're going to have to run, the second round, you're going to be on the pillars, and the third round, you're going to be on the ground. Let's go over this in a little bit more detail. Now, for this method, of course, we're using the rotation method where you stick with your runner rotating around the Gauntlet. You have one person running, one person on the pillars and getting the top arrow, and one person on the ground getting the scion and the bottom arrow. And as I mentioned, if you're doing this on Prestige, your role within your team is going to change round to round. Now, of course, the order you do this in is going to be different depending on your team, but for the first round, let's say you're the runner, and of course that means you don't have to step on any plates, you're just running around the Gauntlet. For the second rotation, you will then move to being the pillar person, so for me that includes also getting the top arrow. And for Prestige, that also includes me getting the second projection that spawns. In a full rotation, you only end up sitting on each of the pillars one time, and this will be the only time you have to interact with pillars. For the final round, you will be on the ground, also hitting the scions and shooting the bottommost arrow. Again, the order you do this in is going to depend on where you are in your team. You might be the runner last, you might be the pillar person first, it all depends on your coordination with your team. Either way, if you stick to this strategy, you'll never have to use a plate more than once, and that way the challenge mode can go by very quickly. And so, by definition, this should be the easiest challenge to complete, provided your team has already got the rotations down for Prestige. Again, this is how I normally do it, so this was a cakewalk. For completing the challenge mode, you are rewarded with a second chest that includes more tokens, a guaranteed loot drop, and also the 2 enter 1 leave emblem for the first completion. But anyways, that's it for the challenge mode. Again, if you want to know how to complete these encounters on normal or prestige, I'll leave links to those videos down in the description. Aside from that, drop a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more Destiny content. And I will see you all next time.